Who is really arming Hamas and Hezbollah? Israel reveals a bizarre weapons cache with surprising origins. How did these weapons end up with Hezbollah? And what does the arsenal reveal about its supply network? Israel shows off a massive Hamas-Hezbollah arsenal, exposing the scale of weapons recovered from the groups. From Nazi guns to Iranian weapons, Hezbollah's war chest appears to contain a startling mix of old and modern arms. Hamas and Hezbollah's kill machine built by Iran, supplied by Russia and China? The weapons trail raises fresh questions. Hezbollah holding Nazi MG-34s with swastika markings alongside Iranian mortars? Israel has given rare access to a massive arsenal seized from Hamas and Hezbollah, revealing the scale of weapons recovered. A Fox News journalist gained access to the weapons arsenal at an IDF base in central Israel, where the cache was displayed. Israeli forces claimed the cache includes rockets, drones, mortars and anti-tank launchers seized during operations. Israel alleged Hamas and Hezbollah received weapons through networks linked to Iran, Russia, China, and Lebanon. The biggest shocker is the IDF displaying a German MG-34 machine gun dating back to the Second World War. An Israeli military commander claimed the German MG-34 gun carried markings resembling a swastika on its body. A second Nazi-era weapon, the MP-44, was also reportedly seized from Hezbollah during Israeli operations. Israel claimed these Nazi-era weapons may have been retained for propaganda value or to boost militant morale. The IDF also displayed ATVs designed to carry multiple anti-tank rockets through southern Lebanon during combat operations. Drones, sniper rifles, rocket launchers and other military equipment were also displayed at the IDF base. The arsenal also included an alleged Iranian copy of the Austrian Stier HS-50 sniper rifle, adding another foreign origin weapon. Israel displayed Iranian mortars and cannons allegedly seized from Hezbollah positions in Lebanon during military operations. The IDF also showed Russian AK-103 and AK-104 rifles reportedly found in southern Lebanon. Chinese and Russian submachine guns were also among the weapons displayed by Israel, highlighting the cache's varied origins. Israeli commanders claimed Russian automatic rifles were popular among Hamas and Hezbollah fighters, according to the report. Israel also claimed Hamas and Hezbollah uniforms were manufactured across Syria, China, and Lebanon, pointing to a wider supply network. Meanwhile, cracks are reportedly beginning to show between US President Donald Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. As Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu seeks another term in office, a new report by Axios has revealed the latest apparent strain in his relationship with US President Donald Trump. According to the report, Trump has described Benjamin Netanyahu as his own worst enemy, highlighting the growing tension between the two leaders despite their previously close political ties. The reported remark comes at a crucial moment, as Netanyahu is seeking Trump's political backing ahead of Israel's October 27 election, hoping that an endorsement from the US president could strengthen his campaign. However, Trump has so far stopped short of publicly endorsing Netanyahu, even though the two leaders have repeatedly described themselves as friends and have maintained a close relationship on major political and security issues. Axios reported that Trump's hesitation to back Netanyahu is partly connected to the Israeli Prime Minister's weak standing in the polls, raising questions about whether an endorsement would actually benefit either leader politically. The report further stated that Netanyahu's Likud party is currently running neck and neck with, or even behind, Gadi Eisenkot's Yashar party in some polling, adding to the uncertainty surrounding the upcoming election. Meanwhile, opinion polls reportedly show Netanyahu's coalition bloc falling short of the 61 seats required to secure a majority in Israel's Knesset, potentially making it difficult for him to form a government after the election. In a sign of Trump's apparent interest in Netanyahu's electoral prospects, the US president reportedly asked the Israeli prime minister just 2 weeks ago how he was performing in the polls ahead of the October 27 vote. Netanyahu reportedly paused before one of his advisors told Trump that the Israeli leader was winning the race. However, polling now presents a far more difficult electoral picture for Netanyahu, with his coalition trailing its current Knesset strength and struggling to reach a governing majority. Netanyahu's coalition is currently polling at roughly 49 to 53 seats, well below the number needed to govern. His governing coalition currently holds 68 seats in the Knesset, meaning the projected loss would be politically severe. A governing majority requires at least 61 seats in Israel's 120-member Knesset, making every projected seat crucial. Opposition parties are polling at roughly 67 to 70 seats, potentially giving them a clear route to form the next government. Gadi Eisenkot leads Netanyahu on favorability in several polls, giving the opposition a powerful figurehead for this election. Netanyahu may not need to win outright if he can prevent his opponents from forming a government, turning a narrow electoral defeat into a longer political survival strategy. Bibi's current strategy is to deny the opposition enough seats to form a stable coalition, hoping rival parties fail to agree on a prime minister and governing agenda. That outcome could force another election and keep Netanyahu as caretaker prime minister for several months, allowing him to retain influence despite failing to win a clear mandate. Trump's closest advisors once expected him to endorse Netanyahu during the campaign, especially after years of close political cooperation and shared wartime messaging. Trump had also publicly pushed for a pardon to end Netanyahu's corruption trial, framing the legal proceedings as an obstacle to Israel's political stability. But the prolonged Iran war saw Trump and Netanyahu's political interests begin to diverge, as Washington focused on ending regional crises while Netanyahu faced pressure to preserve his coalition. Two senior U.S. officials told Axios that Trump still likes Netanyahu, but has become frustrated by several recent decisions. Trump has been asked 4 times recently whether he endorses Bibi, but each time he stopped short of giving the Israeli prime minister the public backing he wanted. Trump has described Netanyahu as a great wartime prime minister in several recent interviews, but his use of the past tense has added to speculation about their changing relationship. Trump has also not publicly renewed his earlier calls for Netanyahu to receive a pardon, another sign that the president may be keeping his distance from Bibi's domestic political battle. Trump needs Israel's election settled so Washington can push forward its Gaza peace plan without prolonged political uncertainty. A stable Israeli government could help keep the Iran crisis from returning to full-scale war, especially as U.S.-Iran diplomacy remains fragile. Washington also wants to advance negotiations between Israel and Lebanon, where unresolved security issues continue to threaten escalation along the northern border. A settled political situation in Israel could also help secure a wider security agreement between Israel and Syria, a key part of Trump's regional diplomacy. Trump is also seeking to broker a historic Israel-Saudi Arabia peace agreement, but Israeli political paralysis could delay or complicate that larger regional goal. Preventing another Israeli election cycle is therefore important for Washington, which needs a functioning partner in Tel Aviv to deliver its broader Middle East agenda. U.S. President Donald Trump's push for a lasting peace in Gaza is facing a major obstacle from one of his closest allies, as disagreements over the next phase of the conflict continue to complicate efforts toward a long-term settlement. Israel has made Hamas disarmament a key condition for lasting peace, insisting the Iran-backed group must give up its weapons before a long-term deal can move forward.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HD app. Download now.